Yeah, I hope my voice will be audible. I'm a bit under weather, but I hope you hear the few words that I'm going to say. Dr. Gloria Magombo, Permanent Secretary for Energy and Power Development, who is our Director of Ceremonies. Your Excellency SADC Executive Secretary, Elias Mangosi, the convener and host of this very important conference. Our host minister, Minister of State for Provincial Affairs and Devolution, Matebele North Province, Honorable Richard Moyo. Minister of Energy and Power Development, and also co-host of this conference, Honorable July Moyo. The Minister of Energy, South Africa, Dr. Ramakova. SADC ministers responsible for energy and other ministers here present. Deputy ministers here present. Secretary for Mines and Mining Development in the ruling party, ZANU-PF, Advocate Mnyaradzi Paul Mangwana. Honorable members of Parliament, Vice President of the African Development Bank, Dr. Kevin Kariuku, ambassadors and heads of country delegations, Mayor of the City of Victoria Falls, His Worship, Councillor Prince Moyo, traditional leaders, captains of industry, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning to you all. It is my profound honor and privilege to officially open the 2026 edition of the Southern African Development Community Sustainable Energy Week on behalf of the President of the Republic of Zimbabwe, His Excellency Dr. Emmerson Dambudzo Mnangagwa. I welcome you to the majestic city of Victoria Falls, a symbol of natural power and shared heritage. Ladies and gentlemen, the global system is undergoing structural transformation. Capital flows are shifting and supply chains are being reconfigured. Strategic and critical minerals are redefining the global geopolitics as we enter the fourth industrial revolution. Southern Africa must not be a spectator to this transition. We must shape it. I am gratified that this platform convenes policymakers, energy experts, academia, financiers, industry leaders, and key stakeholders from across our region and beyond. This high-level convergence clearly signals one thing, that the region is ready to move from dialogue to delivery. Zimbabwe deeply values the initiatives led by the Southern African Development Community in promoting sustainable energy development, regional collaboration, capacity building, and knowledge sharing. I also take this opportunity to commend the Southern African Development Community Center for Renewable Energy and Energy Efficiency for its continued leadership in fostering regional cooperation and innovation. These efforts are vital in addressing the complex challenges facing our regional energy sector, which is an enabler in economic growth. It is also through these collaborative platforms that we can unlock investment opportunities, facilitate transfer of critical skills, and drive transformative change for Africa to rise to the occasion of industrialization to benefit our economies and communities. Therefore, we cannot remain behind whilst our God-given resources develop other already industrialized nations. The theme, driving regional economic growth through clean energy and energy efficiency, speaks directly to our growth imperative. It is critically so as the world undergoes a profound energy transition driven by climate commitments and net zero targets and technological advancements. We too must adapt and innovate. Globally, we are witnessing a significant shift toward clean energy solutions and an enhanced energy efficiency. Renewable technologies have achieved cost parity and in many cases cost superiority over conventional generation. The cost of solar PV technologies has declined over 80% in the past decade, and wind turbine costs have fallen substantially. This transition is also creating millions of green jobs worldwide, and Africa is emerging as a key beneficiary. By 2030, Africa's green economy is projected to generate over 3.3 million new direct and indirect jobs, particularly in solar energy, spanning manufacturing, installation, operations, maintenance, and innovation. Zimbabwe has already benefited from this green wave, creating numerous jobs in renewable energy and related industries. This demonstrates our commitment to sustainable growth and inclusive economic development. Continentally, it is disheartening that despite Africa being endowed with nearly 60% of the world's best renewable energy resources, including solar, wind, hydro, biomass, and fossil fuels, it has only harnessed a small fraction of this potential. Our continent continues to face challenges of power deficits. There is a huge investment gap in the energy sector, which continues to hamper our ability to fully utilize our resources for inclusive growth. As developed nations have moved along carbon-intensive pathways, Africa seeks support to leapfrog directly to clean, modern, and sustainable energy systems, in line with our commitments under the Paris Agreement. We must embrace all energy sources boldly and unite in our efforts to position Africa as a global leader in sustainable energy development. However, the question before us is whether Africa will remain an extraction zone, a raw material supplier, or become a value-adding industrial hub in the clean energy value chain. In that regard, allow me to highlight the recent signing of Memorandum of Understanding to promote the peaceful application of nuclear science and technology to advance Africa's socio-economic development by the African Union, the African Commission on Nuclear Energy, and the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development Nuclear Energy Agency. This presents a strategic opportunity for Southern Africa to build regulatory competence, human capital, value chains, and regional collaboration frameworks to leverage peaceful nuclear technologies responsibly and strategically in support of Africa's energy transition and industrialization agenda. At the regional level, the Southern Africa Development Community, with over 340 million people and a combined GDP exceeding US $720 billion, remains energy constrained. Power deficits, aging infrastructure, transmission bottlenecks, fragmented regulatory regimes, and infrastructure finance gap estimated at US $83 billion per year continue to limit growth. The region's strategic initiatives, such as the Renewable Energy Strategy and Action Plan, the Energy Efficiency Strategy, and the Southern African Power Pool, are crucial in addressing these challenges. These frameworks must now transition from strategy documents to implementation pipelines in increasing renewable energy share, reduce energy intensity, facilitate cross-border electricity trade, and improve system resilience. Zimbabwe's energy landscape reflects both challenges and opportunities. Currently, our electricity access rate stands at approximately 62%, with rural slightly above 20%. We recognize the need to increase our access rate Therefore, under National Development Strategy 2 and our Energy Compact, as we pursue universal access by 2030, we are liberalizing generation to attract independent power producers, enabling direct power purchase agreements, expanding private sector participation in transmission and distribution, accelerating rural electrification, targeting universal coverage of schools and clinics, and mobilizing domestic capital through structured engagement with local financial institutions. Furthermore, our abundant resources of significant coal deposits, massive water bodies, and untapped solar and wind energy offer immense opportunities. Projects like Zimbabwe's waste-to-energy initiatives in Harare exemplify innovative solutions for developing clean cities, reducing hazards, and generating power. Decentralized renewable systems, including mini-grids, are crucial for rural transformation and economic empowerment. In addition, we are advancing strategic regional cooperation in hydro projects such as Batoka Gorge, Devo, and Mpata Gorge. Further, we fully support the ongoing Mupandagua in Mozambique and the Inga Dam project in the Democratic Republic of Congo in strengthening cross-border interconnections. Distinguished guests, let me call all of us to action. To the investment bankers and financiers, the region presents scalable projects, predictable demand, and policy reform momentum. Therefore, your role in mobilizing capital is crucial. Your expertise can help us harness resources for renewable energy initiatives that will power our economies while preserving our planet for future generations. To the policymakers, regulatory certainty, policy harmonization, and efficient permitting frameworks will unlock capital at scale. The path to sustainable energy requires robust frameworks and supportive legislation. Let us all commit to creating an enabling environment that incentivizes clean energy investment, encourages research and development, and strengthens cross-border collaborations. To the academia and energy experts, your insights and technological advancements are key drivers for transformation. We call upon you to lead by example in adopting and implementing best practices in energy efficiency. Share your knowledge, invest in local talent, and collaborate with governments, the private sector, and communities to create sustainable solutions that address our unique regional challenges. As I conclude, let me emphasize that we stand at a crucial moment. Southern Africa possesses the resources. We possess the market and the strategic geography. What is required now is execution, discipline, and investment acceleration. If we act decisively, Southern Africa can transition from energy deficit to energy surplus, from commodity exporter to industrial hub, from climate vulnerability to climate resilience. Clean energy is no longer a future aspiration. It is an immediate economic strategy. Let this Sustainable Energy Week move beyond dialogue to implementation, beyond aspiration to execution, beyond policy intent to measurable impact. The time to act is now. Let us accelerate change. Let us embrace clean energy and take definitive steps towards a sustainable future. I therefore declare the Sustainable Energy Week officially open. I thank you.
Let's give another round of applause for our Honorable Vice President and Guest of Honor,